Hi everyone, we are from Group 5. We want to talk about Ar-Rahmah Marketing Company that we choose for family business interview. Okay, let's go. Before we start our presentation, let me introduce our group members. Okay, first, me, Muhammad Ammar bin Muhammad Rosli, 281274. Then Nurul Amira Adilah binti Ismail, 279838. Okay, then Tiong Si Jin, 278783. Then Pang Pei Wen, 279149. And lastly, Lau Jiani, 279370.
And we choose the company to interview for complete our group assignment, which is All Rama Marketing. We are interview with the ownership Mr. Azharuddin, which is the ownership second generation for All Rama Marketing family business on 18 November 2021. The main product are sold in the market for this business family is the Remba Haja Rama Lenko.
Okay, before I explain for introduction of Ar-Rahmah Marketing, okay, my name is Muhammad Ammar bin Muhammad Rosli. My metric number is 281274. Okay, for the introduction of Ar-Rahmah Marketing, the family business is a tradition business that has been operate from generation to generation. Okay, the business company name is Ar-Rahmah Marketing. Now it is operated by the second generation after he take over from his mother, which is Hajar Rahmah binti Said, the one who built this company in the first place. In the first place. Okay, Encik Azharuddin bin Haji Sulaiman is the one who take care of and own this company now. Okay, he is the young child of Hajar Rahmah. He just retired from Air Force Malaysia in June 2020 before he starting to take over this business. He come back to the village after his retirement to take over the business from his mother. Okay, the concept of the business is stop and rest like R&R because this shop is located on the main road from Lenggong to Kuala Kangsar and Great. Okay, this location is strategic for the people who want to take a rest in their journey. Okay, this shop serve for customers can visit the factory, rest, leisure and eat at this shop. Okay, the first product made from this business is rempah sambal hitam. Okay, this recipe has been used from generation to generation as the main ingredient in daily cook. Okay, it was introduced and market in 2019 and 99. Okay, the customer only need 10 minutes to get enjoy the food and the price is only 10 ringgit per pack. Okay, next is a product of Aramah Marketing is pickle fish. As we know, pickle fish is one of the traditional food in Malay from the past to the present. Okay, it is like appetizing food for the Malay. Okay, the last product from this family business is Gold Shop Ar-Rahmah. It is controlled and operated by this company, Hasnani Azhari Enterprise, which is Encik Azharuddin wife company. Okay, it was started in 2012 with online service.
So now I will continue the presentation about family tree genogram. Before that, I will introduce myself. My name is Nurul Amira Adila binti Ismail and my matric number is 276838. So what's the meaning of family tree genogram? The meaning about the genogram of the family tree is a background history of family itself. Genogram is a graphic representation of a family tree that displays detailed data on relationship among individuals. As we know that the design of family tree genogram is various and many types so that we can know and to simple and understand to read the family tree genogram is we can identified by the two shapes. So the two shape is square and circle. The circle shape represented by female, while square shape represented by male. Males. Based Based on interview the owner Arahma Marketing, the business of the Arahma Marketing Company is named as the mother's name because it is his mother who produced and create the product herself. Therefore, to know more about this genogram family tree, we can know about their family relationship in their business of Arahma Marketing. Next, we can see the family tree genogram of Arahma Marketing. So through the genogram tree, we can see the result of the marriage of Haji Sulaiman and Hajar Rahmah themselves. So on the marriage, they have 5 children and 3 of them are boys and the rest are girls. The name of their children are, the first is Mr. Saifuddin, the second Mr. Hishamuddin, third Mrs. Sharifah, fourth Mrs. Noor Azhira, and lastly Mr. Azharuddin. Among the children sitting with their parent is his youngest son, Mr. Azharuddin. So that Arahma Marketing business is a business that is produced by Bumi Putra and handmade. The main product of this company is black cooking spice or that's called rempah masak hitam. This product started or was produced in 1999 and started selling in small quantity because this is the first product to produce for the Arahma company. Then the Arahma business company grew up being taken over by his younger son Encik Azharuddin, or in other words, Mr. Azharuddin is the second generation in the business of Arahma marketing company. With that, he managed the company with his own family and is assisted by his staff. Mr. Azharuddin also taught and asked his son, asked his third son, Father Daniel, to help in this business because he said his third son was less educated, so his son had to help him manage the Arahma marketing business company. So that why when their son helped Mr. Azharuddin, so that they have a relationship on this company, so that they have a legacy to successful for the company. Therefore, if his son can learn and show interest in business, his son Father Daniel, who is the third child, can be the third generation in business. They can refer the genogram tree of family Arahma marketing. So that's all for the family tree of Arahma marketing. Now, let's move to the three development dimension. Three development dimension of company models such as ownership development dimension, family development dimension, and business development dimension. Each dimension of development has a type or stage that needs to be defined more clearly. Therefore, we will analyze for Arahma Marketing Company by using three dimensions of development. So that based on the interview with ownership Mr. Azharuddin and Haji Sulaiman, we were able to analyze three dimensions of development for Arahma Marketing. So that we can define that for business in dimension of ownership development, which is controlling the owner stage, while the dimension family development dimension is entering the business family, and lastly business development dimension is expansion. So there's is three development dimension that can be identified for Arahma Marketing Company. So now I will discuss the first company three-dimension development models. Firstly, I will discuss about the ownership development dimension. So what is the ownership development dimension? Ownership development dimension is about a permanent category and it represents the physical enterprise and exploitation of something by humans. However, ownership development dimension divided by three stages. There is single owner, which means controlling owner, next by sibling, which means sibling partnership, and group cousin, which means cousin consortium. Based on interview, we found that the Arahma Marketing Company is organization or company that can control the owner level. That means controlling the owner level is the most business. The most business to find or to start with a single owner who has the power to make the final decision. So this stage is usually categorized by the founder's strong commitment to the success of their company. Therefore, Ar-Rahmah company is controlling on a level in the development dimension because the founder want to retire and want to hand over to the youngest child because the founder wants his younger son, Mr. Azharuddin, to manage their business and continue the company business and legacy. So the next of the characteristic controlling owner stage for Ar-Rahmah marketing company is ownership control consolidated in one individual or couple. So why we say that? Because the first generation was developed in 1999. Therefore, the founder of the mother, Mr. Azharuddin, want to the younger son to manage the business company so that Ar-Rahmah marketing company has a legacy, so has a generation. In other words, ownership control in the company Ar-Rahmah marketing after his mother, who is the first generation, resign and hand over to the second generation, and then they manage in pair, then their husband and wife. So that every stage or every company have their own challenge. So that this is controlling owner stage. We can identify have two challenges. For first challenge is capital and second challenge is choosing an ownership structure for future generation. So that's all for ownership development dimension. Next, the second stage of company dimension development model is a family development dimension. What's the meaning of family development dimension? Family has their own identity based on trust and loyalty between their family member. They will decide to continue generation in business or vice versa. Also, the family relationship change and evolve over time. As a generation matured, the structure of their life is created so that the family dimension is divided into the following stages such as young family business, interim family business, working with family, and passing the baton. Based on the interview with Mr. Azharuddin Ar-Rahmah Marketing, Ar-Rahmah Marketing is entering the business family. Why we said like that? Because Mr. Azharuddin, who know the second generation of Ar-Rahmah Marketing, that he took over and managed the company after he retired from army. So that at the time, Mr. Azharuddin was 46 years old. He took over the business when he reached a middle age and was a senior generation. So that senior generation between 35 until 55 years old is the characteristic of entering the family business, which is family development dimension. When his younger son Encik Azharuddin took over after his mother Hajarama believed on Mr. Azharuddin, he changed the name of the company, repackaging, built an infrastructure and expanded the company by building a large factory. With the takeover by his son, then the company was successful and was able to maintain the production of their family by tradition. So that the challenge of this dimension is separation and individual of the younger generation in this business. This is said so because the involvement of separation of the child generation from the parents or due to family structure, marriage, and others. For example, Mr. Azharuddin is involved in their family business, but he doesn't not force his children to get involved in this business. On other hand, that Mr. Azharuddin um, want to uh, doesn't want to force his son, but he said when his son doesn't work or doesn't get excellent mark in study, so that he must help their family to help their business. So that's all from family development dimension. Lastly, the company's dimension development model is a business development dimension. Based on the interview with Mr. Azharuddin, we decide the stage of business development dimension is expansion. This is said because after Encik Azharuddin took over, he packaged and improved the quality of the product, also the formula of the product. With the new generation, namely Encik Azharuddin, then will enhance and expand the business of Ar-Rahmah Marketing Company. Why we said expansion? Because one of the characteristics is multiply product or business. So after we interview the second generation of Arahma marketing, we know that the Mr. Azharuddin, who have a good entrepreneur, we have a innovative and creative idea to produce many product. So in in Arahma marketing company that has a various product such as pickle fish, in Malay words is ikan perkasam, tauchu, and so on. And other business under the name of Arahma company is Arahma Gold, but now they changed the name is Zahra Arahma goal. So this shows that the second generation chosen by the founder Hajar Rahman is a very accurate because his family business or legacy is successful. So the next challenge of this stage is strategic planning and organizational management. Why we said strategic planning? Because that this is such because the founder needs to plan an effective strategy to sustain the business. For example, the second generation of Mr. Azharuddin is the manager of Arahma Marketing Business Company after being taken over. He has planned various strategies to develop the family tradition business company so that he opened the gallery with the concept of stop and rest, in Malay word, rehat dan berhenti, and he also built a large factory so that his produce could be produced in large quantity because Mr. Azharuddin worked hard to maintain traditional product in his business company. So that's all from me. I will pass to the next presentation to the presenter. Thank you.
Okay, next is family relation and conflict in the company. Okay, conflict and misunderstanding always exist in the family and are the worst opponent of the family business. Managing conflict is essential not only for business success but also for family survival. Family members must form strong and well organized business relationship. Okay, based on the interview with Encik Azharuddin, he mentioned that there are non-major family conflict in this business, as all family business, as all family members agree with him to operate the business. Okay, but the product production, packaging, and venue preparation will have a big issue. It is because he will need all the family members' agreement to make it clear to them. Regarding this matter, Encik Azharuddin mothers, which is Hajar Rahmah, will be the one who make the decision as she is the main leader and using all thinking that suit with all of them. Okay, meanwhile, Encik Azharuddin will be the one who explain the detail to the family members because he is the manager in this company. Okay, his children will mention about what the changing process will be done and his mother will look through it. Okay, is she agree with the changing, then he will proceed with the process. To make their family members agree and understand, he will create a meeting and discuss with them about these matters.
A very good morning to Madam. My name is Laujani. Number entry is 279370. I will continue presenting about the succession planning. So for all Rama Marketing have a successful family business for next generation because the ownership Mr. Azharuddin have already planned the succession planning of his business family. So what is the meaning of succession planning? Succession planning is the process of passing the leadership and management of a family firm to the next generation of family members. And if the CEO or ownership leave, the company operation will not be disturbed, and then the succession will know what to do once they are hired. And during interview with the ownership, Mr. Azharuddin, he said that some requirement for who are become the succession, which is need to play a role, be active in the family business and have some business skill. Example, the succession need be active, present and use the social media platform such as Instagram, Facebook Live to promote their product and communication and social skill also in fiction. Next, the successions already have the direction for the planned future of business family, such as what mission and vision need to add, and or the goal of the project like improve the product for overseas need or the goal some need to score and success in the future. The more important thing is responsibility. The succession are responsibility to be the all aspect of business, such as to plan the long-term strategy plan, analyze the short business in the market, make decision and solve the problem. And Mr. Azharudin have mentioned that the third son are interested to help him together to control and manage the business family now. A great possibility the third son will take over the family business until present for the ownership, Mr. Azharudin.
Good morning, madams. I am Pompeyans. Metric number is 279149. The topic of my talk is the Al-Rahmah Enterprise Family Firm Governance and instant planning. And this is a three circles model of the family business system, which is to be the centers organizing frameworks for understanding family business system. So, what is family firm governance? In general, family firm government is a process or structure to educate and facilitate communication between family members. It also provided a forum for conductive discussions, problem solving, and decisions about the family as it's related to the business, as well as how the business related to the family. Based on the interview, the man of ownership and making decision is Ms. Azharudin bin Haji Sulaiman, and his business management style is management in the way he used to be a soldier. And his wife and his mothers are an assistant to help Ms. Azharudin to do well for their business. After that, family government is important in communication between families members. So, Ms. Azharudin is setting every month will have a meeting. In their meeting, they will be discussing issues related to their product Rempak Masak Hitam. They will be discuss about the sales of their product in a month, how to expand the market, managing worker to ensure the product quality foods and at an affordable price, promoting their products, and the last one is planning to upgrade the manual productions to machine production is to increase the product quantities and sales. Estate planning is how we plan for the independence. It's not just about planning for that. It's also including planning for disability or incapacity. Estate planning ensure that how our assets are distributed or minimizing tax or make sure that someone you love and trust can make the healthcare decision for you. If you cannot make them for yourself without these plannings, if you become incapacitated, the court might have to appoint a conservator or guardian, which can be emotionally difficult and potentially expensive. In addition, if you die without an estate plan, the stated default distributed scam kits in often requiring probate and potentially deducting in your asset being given to people you don't want or have even told about, and people you don't trust, making healthcare and financial decisions of your behalf. Estate planning is a process by which a person can provide for themselves and their loved ones through a period of disability or incapacity, live what they want, to whom they want, in the ways they want at their death. Minimize tax and avoid unnecessary attorneys, free and could cause, share their hope, fair dream values and aspirations with their loved one, memorize their regencies and support cause their value most.
Next, for the business on Rama Marketing, the second of generation ownership, Mr. Azharuddin, are now preparing the estate planning until present. The reason he doesn't plan is because he thinks he still have energy and strength to manage the family business. So he hasn't found of making this estate planning yet. He didn't know how to distribute the property, and his son didn't care about it because Mr. Azharuddin was still here and keep going the family business. And present, the action he has taken is that every time he has a family business meeting, he stipulates that his children must participate. In this way, he can see which sons are so interested so that he can distribute more share and properly to the child who is interested in family business. Then he also said that he could given his property to his son because it is very important for a son to start and continue the family business, and a daughter will have her husband business to manage when she grew up. So Mr. Azharuddin will eventually distribute the property to his son.
Good morning to Madam. My name is Tiong Si Jing and my matric number is 278783. Now I will continue the last part of our group presentations, which is company strategy planning. Before I hand forward to the front, let me explain first what is the meaning of company strategy planning. A company strategy planning is a systematic and realistic process for control and develop the direction of an organization. In other words, the company strategy planning also can be described as a goals or objective the entrepreneur want to achieve in the future. So we can consist no matter what kind of business that we operate, every business should have a strategy business planning as the reference or also like guidelines to help entrepreneur to prepare like actual visions for the future of their business. So and for the Mr. Azharuddin, he also got his the own company strategy planning. According to the speech by Mr. Azharuddin, he says there is the three key components in the company strategy planning. Well, the first one is where is the business now, and the second one is where do we want to take it, and the third is what do we need to do to get there. So for the first one, with understanding the meaning of where is the business now, Mr. Azharuddin say that we need to understand first as much about our business as possible. So if I get the example of Mr. Azharuddin, he can say, at the 19th century, her mother was the producer of the black spice, and every time her mother only produced in a small portion to sell in the village. and Mr. Azharuddin know that her mother was a great producer of a black spice because it is not easy to produce the black spice. And the black spice of a mother got the huge demand in the village. So through these situations, Mr. Azharuddin said he saw an opportunity to him. And he also really understand the step of produce the black spice because he will help in mother to produce the black spice in every process of the productions. So starting from that moment, when Mr. Azharuddin finished his graduate in university, he's starting to create a company strategy planning in his business. What he's do is he makes the strategy planning become realistic. Like he make a decision to expand his mother business of black spice. After that, the second one is we understand the meaning of where do we want to take it. Mr. Azharuddin said we need to set up a top goals, vision and objective like in the family business. And the position to the family member is not really important in one company that we want to achieve. So by that, Mr. Azharuddin said, although the size of the company was not bigger, but he has a long-term sight to set a company strategy planning. He was create the positions in the company by himself, like manager of managing and marketing manager, based on the strategy planning that he wants. He also as the director of the managing, and he will make the whole decisions in his company. So through that situations, we can conclude that strategy planning of Mr. Azharuddin, like he creates the positions by himself, it can be a nice way because it helps to avoid the conflict between the family member so that the operations of the company will be more efficient and smoothly. And then lastly, which is the third component, with understanding the meaning of what do we need to go to get there, Mr. Azharuddin said we need to make the changes on the company's strategy planning to achieve our goal and objective based on the current situations. Yes, this is because according to the speech by Mr. Azharuddin, for example, like in 19th century, because of all the steps to do black spice was in manually, so the portion of black spice is in the small amount only. So after the technology developing rapidly in 20th century, Mr. Azharuddin be alert and change the work manually to mechanizations, like use the advanced machine to cook the spice to reduce the time, and through these situations, the productivity of company was be improvement and can be handled the high demand in the market. That's all from me. Thank you.
That's all for our group present. If you interested for the product or Rama marketing, you can click the link I'll provide in the screen here, the website. You can take a look for the product or Rama marketing. Thank you.